I call it Mindfulness in the Corporate Boardroom, and is about taking his teachings and applying them in business. And I think this is one of the areas that often gets neglected, because we think the generic we and the general we think that mindfulness and meditation and all those words you only do when you're sitting on your meditation pillow under a tree or something like that. But these techniques are incredibly powerful. And a spot where we can really benefit from them is the corporate boardroom. So I'm just going to say hello. I'll move this, and I will say hello to Sanjeev. Sanjeev, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Russ?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I did a little bit of an intro there. I know for myself, this is one of the areas that we focus on quite a bit, is taking these understandings and knowledge and techniques and applying them again in all areas of our life, one of them being business. So this is an area that you're very passionate about, and I know you're focusing on this in your consulting and your coaching just really now. So if I was a CEO listening to this, and then I hear this mindfulness and the meditation, like how could that help me? I don't know, if my employees and my bottom line. So what do you say to somebody like that? You sit down for your first meeting and they say, okay, so tell me who you are and what you're about. What do you say?
Yeah, I would just say how to live into this moment, in order to raise the productivity level by just let go and disconnect with the thoughts of the past and the future. And the whole practice of mindfulness is to just celebrate each and every moment of our life without worry, no thoughts of past and future, totally focused, live here and now into this moment.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, so that's great. And of course, I kind of know the answer to the questions, but so I'm kind of the corporate CEO now, but the corporate CEO says, so you're telling me I'm not supposed to worry about, but I'm supposed to worry about things. I've got all these things I have to worry about. And so if I'm not worrying about these things, who is? So how would you reply to that?
Yeah. What I'm saying, you don't have to dwell in the thoughts of the past, in the form of worry, anxiety, memory. Neither you have to think about the future in the form of dream, ambition, goal, because this is the divine moment which exists right now here. So the more we live into this moment with the help of mindfulness practice, the better we can take control of the past and the future, because the past has already moved into different dimension and the future has not happened so far. So there is no point to think about the past and the future. So the more we live into this moment, the better we can have and celebrate it. Yeah, that is the mindfulness practice. Yeah.
So, and that's one of the as I think about this, that's really quite fascinating, because so often I was just thinking as I was listening to you there's another individual that works with a lot of sort of high power people. So high power people are the ones that have high stress jobs and they have I don't know, they have the ulcers and they have the whatever, they have insomnia and all this type of stuff. And one of the things that she talked about was for them, because they're in that high stress, high tension, that go type of thing, they have an inability to get to that place that you're talking about. But in their mind, they think in order to get to that place of mindfulness, that place of stillness, I have to somehow get rid of all this other stuff. And what I'm hearing you saying is, you don't have to get rid of all the other stuff to get to mindfulness. You just go straight to the present moment.
Yes.
And to me, that's a game changer.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how much stressful, busy, and occupied, we are. It happens in the corporate sector for the business people, CEOs, business leader. They are too much stressful. Because there are too many occupied with, with life activities, dealing with all kinds of the workforce energy. But still, we have to prioritize our work. Just let me give you one example. When we wake up early in the morning, we have to go for 10 minutes meditation practice. And after doing 10-minute meditation practice, whole day we can work, it doesn't matter at all. But we have to prioritize our work, in the form of time management skill. And wherever we are working, whatsoever activity we are doing, we have to bring a gap or a space between 6 hours, between 7 hours, and in that space or gap, we have to regain our energy level, in different ways. So once we regain the energy level, what will happen? It will improve our efficiency, and that's what it does matter in our life.
What I was saying was the person that's in front of the computer screen for 5 hours and they're all stressed out, and then they go, so I'm supposed to just, like, by closing my eyes, focusing on my breath, but how do I get rid of all this stuff? But what you're saying is you don't get rid of it. You essentially take an energetic time out where you go to that place where it's still, it's peaceful, it's calm, and then you can come back into your day-to-day activities, but you're coming back into it from a much more refreshed place, correct?
Yes, that's exactly the thing, Yeah.
And I think that's a really important thing to clarify with folks is this is an incredibly powerful productivity exercise for their employees and people in corporate, because when we're doing this, we get bogged down, I think, in many respects. And so by taking that, and what you're suggesting is this practice, it doesn't have to take a long time, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to take a long time. And you can do at any place, suppose if you are working in a computer industries, medical sector, you can take break for 5 seconds, like when you're working for 5 hours or 6 hours continuously, and it doesn't cost anything. So just in 5 seconds or 1 minute, just regain your energy level and then move forward, because for another hour, it is raising your productivity, because you are recharging yourself, you are regaining your energy level. That will help you to move into your life.
And I think as we relate to corporate is so focused on analyzing, doing their flow charts, external measurements. So how do I know this is effective? Well, I can look at a spreadsheet, or I can look at numbers or things like that. And I think I know for this type of an experience, it's not something you experience linearly, that you experience intellectually even. It really is an experience. And for me, I think initially with a lot of folks, if they're listening to the show and maybe they go, what the hell are they talking about? This meditation stuff. I totally get where they're coming from. But what I do suggest, that first step, when you go, okay, well, this Sanjeev guy says I'm supposed to breathe and focus on my nostril and in and out and all that kind of stuff, you'll probably have to take that first step in faith, because analytically it probably won't make a lot of sense.
Yes.
And so if you're waiting for this experience to make sense before you take the step, you're not going to take the step. So I think for me, that first step is you take it in faith and go, well, I don't know, but I'm going to try it, because that's what I did. And then with consistency and practice, it might not happen instantly, but with that consistency and practice, then you will experience for you, because even with yourself and myself, we're going to experience it a little bit differently. Common themes, but it's a little bit different for each person. And when you experience it, that's when you know what mindfulness feels like.
Yes, exactly. And it is our own investigation, it is our own investigation based on how far we gone inside. And it takes time, persistence, perseverance, patience. And we have to be alert, aware, conscious of each and every moment in the form of watchfulness, observation, of whatsoever things are happening into this moment. And we have to witness of the thoughts. That is very much important, because when we keep on witnessing of the thoughts, everything will fall into the right place gradually. Eventually, it has to come. And that's what the mindfulness practice is.
Yeah, that's so perfect. I love what you said about it takes mindfulness practice, right? It's not just magic poof and there you are. It takes that practice and that consistency, but the payoffs are just so tremendous.
Because it is a basic, it is a core of human life, Business will come eventually. Everything will come into our life once we understand the deeper meaning of who we really are in the form of creating a compassion, loving, forgiveness, kindness within us. Suppose if I am a CEO of company and I'm dealing with so many employees, so many things into my life, that is okay. We have to deal them. But before that, why can't we look within? Why can't we go inside? Why can't we discover who we really are? Why can't we investigate, Because if I'm creating a fragrance of love, compassion, forgiveness within myself, that is a priority. So the same thing I will share with my employees. So why can't I transform? Why can't awaken myself first, And I would like to help to the employees, in order to raise the productivity level. So the work is there, the stress is there, the money is there, everything is there in the corporate situation. But we need to balance our life, I can say. There is a balance between the spiritualism and the materialism. What does it mean? It means like we need to understand the deeper meaning of our life, who we really are, and we have to manage the stresses. We have to take care of the employees, we have to take care of the finances and everything, and then everything will fall into the right place. And that's what it is.